So when my computer started dying, I was still working on that Ebon Jaguar that I picked up in one of the events. And since the problem was that it took far more damage than it should, I thought maybe I would try a long-range build. It's something that would, mean I would be less likely to draw fire. So I thought, maybe some ER PPCs because the side torsos have really high energy mounts. So that seemed like a good starting point. And then I wanted something kind of significant to put in the arms as a good rapid fire weapon. And since I still wanted something long range and I didn't really have enough tonnage for AC5s, I went for AC2s or Ultra 2s. And this build turned out okay. I don't know, it's probably still too hot, although I need to learn to manage my fire or my heat better with chain firing the PPCs.
Target spotted.
Although there's a point here later where I'm just about to overheat and all I'm firing is the AC2s and it can't even really handle that. So it might just be that the build is entirely too hot to really be useful. But it does an okay job of what I wanted it to do. You know, I can continually harass people from pretty much any range, and I can deliver some decent firepower. It's got enough ammo that it'll, definitely last through an entire battle. It might even have 1 ton too much ammo, so it's possible you could swap that out.
New target acquired.
Also, another thing that would help with this build is if you have good aim, which I do not.
Target
New
spotted.
target acquired.
Target spotted.
So here I'm actually going to do a fairly good job of what I wanted to do with this build, and that's just providing fire support.
Level critical.
There are a couple of times here where, I
Destroyed.
can help someone who is being focused down by a large mech. So there was that Fafnir. Then I had to swing around just to make sure I wasn't about to get shot in the back.
Thanks for leaving me hanging.
Target spotted.
New target acquired. New target acquired.
Pretty sure, yeah. So I turned around again, having decided that my back was safe, and wasted some shots on the Raven, which that's a weird build. I have not seen a Hugin with a Rack 5. But so here's another large mech that I wind up supporting somebody with. There's a king crab who's staring at me, so that's kind of the opposite of what I want to do with this build. And I back up as fast as I possibly can, and my I think it's Fafnir buddy over there makes a nice big target for the king crab, so he goes and looks at him. So I get in the king crab's back, and again show my amazingly bad aim and somehow completely miss that crab. I was so frustrated when I missed that shot. But I do make him turn around. And so it's another situation where, you're using an assault mech's very slow speed against them, and you're just hitting them from 2 different sides.
Acquired.
Point more gun.
So since that king crab was down, I figured that valley was clear enough.
New target acquired.
And I got a little bit of splash laser fire in the back, but it wasn't too bad. So I scared off the adder, and eventually, turned around, went back in the direction I was heading earlier.
Acquired.
All his weapons are in his left side.
And this was kind of a Fafnir heavy match. I think the enemy team had a couple, and I think we had a couple.
Kilo. That 1 kilo.
And unfortunately, contrary to what I wanted to do, again, I just wind up right in the face of the Fafnirs.
Warning incoming.
There's
There's still a
New
Fafnir down there.
acquired.
So yeah, took out the last one, and then staring down this one, and I lose my left arm. Thankfully, that was all I lost.
Left arm destroyed.
I mean, it's, it could have gone a lot worse with dual heavy gauss. I was already red CT, so he could have done some serious damage there.
Destroyed. New target acquired.
Fafnir, Fox 5 low.
Oh, and by the way, I'm still having to use my alternate audio recording setup,
The next build.
so I'm not quite sure when I'll have that back to normal.
No, he's active, definitely. and the family is very.
But here again, I really could have benefited from remembering that I actually do have my PPCs set up for a chain fire group instead of just the group fire.
Target acquired.
Up with that tag.
Critical.
There you go.
Override shut down.
I guess the one and only good thing about losing my left arm was that it definitely helped reduce my heat output.
Target destroyed.
Warriors, you have taken the target.
So there we go, a fairly short and sweet match. And my damage was okay. I didn't, I didn't get any kills. I didn't do a whole lot of component destruction, but the damage was all right. Again, maybe if you have better aim, this build will work. And really, my team was being hard carried by Horseman there in the Awesome. So if it wasn't for him, my mech might not have even had the chance to do as well as it did. So I'm not so sure this build was that great, and I'll probably keep looking for something else to do with the Ebon Jaguar.